All right, check this out. I've got my books up here, trying to get three different books to be visible at the same time. I pulled up the table of contents on each of my books, and I had to create these table of contents. So when I go into view right here, table of contents is how I have this viewed to show me that I put in this table of contents on basically the meta level. Is important for me here to whatever program or software these books get put into. I have a feeling pretty confidently like this table of contents is going to show up in one way or another to really organize it. All right, showing you a few tricks here about the formatting, some things I did to make my poems be consistent. Working in the document section, something that I did to make it easier every once in a while, I'll do a Command A to select all. Selecting all means that if I'm gonna change any of these margins or anything like that, I just confidently know that it's gonna change it on everything. You know, every once in a while you might change something that you think you're changing for the whole document and you're only changing for like that one line or that one page. So this is another trick I want to talk about here in Pages that I found really useful. It gave me a lot of confidence that the work that I was doing was going to match and it was going to look good, and that the metadata was going to look good, so that if this is going into Kindle, or if this is going into a different kind of ebook platform, or even a PDF, whatever, I wanted this to come out good, like across the board. So I put contents right here. I use their text over here. You see it says text. They give you these different options. So chapter is the option that I selected for the title of each one of my poems. And then by selecting chapter, I was able to tell Pages what I wanted chapter to look like. So for here, the way that chapter looks is that it's the font that I've got, it's the font size that I want, it's the alignment that I want, and then when you go to the next place that you need that type of font, it's chapter and it matches. Next thing I did was work on the body. So if my title looks like this and it automatically went to subheading, I'm just going to say that's fine. Is my cup allowed to be full is the first line of this poem, and I have it as the style of body 2 because I made a custom body font. So the other thing I did here around the font and the formatting and the spacing, you'll see right here is this spacing is at 1.2. I did that same thing where I did select all to make that spacing show up in the way that it did. But specifically, I made the body 2, I just went with the number 2 rather than 1 because I was customizing, is I told it to be spacing at 1.2. So in this case, presumably every time I click on a different body text, the spacing is still going to show up as 1.2, which is good. That's what I want. Like I said, I'm looking for consistency. So every time I click on a different poem in the body, it's body 2. And it's just saying that I've picked the format and it's going to be the same every time. One thing is that when I went into a different document and I go here, I had to set body 2 every single time. It did not translate from one document to another. It was per document. So this was a manual thing every single time. I just said, this is going to be body 2. This is the font. This is the size. This is the spacing. So that's basically how that's going to look across the board here. And then on the title page was another thing just to show you. On the title page, I went with the title on the text. So I set what that looked like, title, set the font, set the size, set the spacing, and I had to do that manually on every single one here. But I made sure that they matched because I wanted that the format of title was on the title each time. And then here, this one, they have one called author. So I decided to say, okay, let's leave that in the formatting world of author that Pages has already decided is one of our paragraph styles, as they call it. So I wanted to go with that. All I did was I just clicked on the author, and then I said, here's the font that I want author to be. And then by saying update, it updated it. So now it's in the metadata of author, it's my name, it's with the font that I like, and I made sure that it was the same on my different works.